We are starting off today's episode just a little bit differently. And yeah, let's get into what happened last night. Nothing bad, just it happened last night. Okay, here's what's happened. Nothing bad. I waited about 2 hours, I guess, and I came back to the model table, and actually it's probably closer to 4 hours. And I was wiggling at the smaller of the two that we did, and I was finding that it took very little force, where I could see that it could easily break off with just being connected in two places. So I picked it up, and I found that I could come at it from in behind with the applicator, and it worked out pretty good. It was going pretty fast. I thought, well, I'll do at least two more on it, and I ended up doing them all. And I have since done the larger of the two, and I've connected them all. So each one is connected as far as I can tell. The next thing to do now is to paint over top of the CA glue so it's not shiny. I don't know if I'll do that this evening yet. Probably not. I'm starting to get kind of tired. But anyway, that's what's happened here. Everything went okay. Didn't break anything, at least not yet. Yeah, it's coming. We'll be flipping the page. I thought we'd be flipping it today yet, but I guess it's going to be tomorrow now, which will be today for you. Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. Well, I would say at least 2 hours has gone by here now. And I did go over the inside of everything with the number 69 NATO black. And there's some places that are probably still a little bit wet. I will be waiting for a while, probably till tomorrow morning now, because now I'm really getting tired. Yeah, but I sort of felt a little bit, you might say, enthused, and I wanted to see how it was going to come out. And I'm not seeing any CA glue glinting. Yeah, I think once I go over it with the the number 77 light gray. A few places I did touch with the NATO black where I shouldn't have, but I think once we go over everything with the number 77, it's going to look pretty good. All right, that's it. We'll see you in the morning. Well, here we are with the next morning. And I just do not feel like inserting an outside scene this morning. It's so gray and cloudy, and you might say almost depressing. Now, I know we do need the rain, especially here in Manitoba, what with all the forest fires going on. In fact, it seems like Canada is burning up. However, well, it only seems like that. Anyway, I was noticing when I was looking at these things here that one of the spiders seems to have a spider's web on it. So we're going to try and get rid of that before we try to paint it with the number 77 here. Anyway, let's get going into today, and maybe tomorrow will be bright and sunny and cheery, and the birds will be tweeting. Right now, I think the birds are probably looking for their raincoats. Okay, now will this one here fit down as well as the other one did? I think I'm going to try and grab it just a little bit different here. Very carefully like this. My angle is just not quite right here. Maybe that wasn't the best angle. I don't think we need to glue it in place. This one does not seem to be going all the way down and seating on the little ledge. I don't want to press too hard. Does that look like it's all the way down? No, it's not. There's something catching. Well, I think maybe I better try and get it back out of there without bending it. Get my angle just a little bit different here. Maybe if I could push this down first. Oh, it's jamming on something. The other one almost fell into place, if you remember. Well, let's take it out and see if we can see what the problem is. That's taking it out. Okay. I'm not really seeing anything. Well, I'm going to have to take another look at it. Okay, I got it. I went to put it back in and it almost just fell in. So I must have had it a little bit crooked and it was binding somehow. Alright, now you remember we are going to be... What's wrong here? I think I got the wrong one. Okay, where's the right one? Okay, I was worried for a minute I couldn't find it. Good thing I can delete out the dead spots while I'm looking for stuff that I can't find. Okay, that's better. Now, I do believe this is the one that has the spider web on it. Yes, I can see it now with the light shining on it. Okay, now remember we are going to bend these down afterwards. And also, let's see, have we got this in place now? Very carefully here. Yeah. Have to be so careful. Just double check here. Alright, I think we're probably safe now to just put just a little tiny bit of, probably put some glue on the inside, just on the inside of the edge here along the bottom. Like you can see here where it's not painted, where it's white. Just a little bit along there on both sides, and then drop it down in place. I don't think we need to be flooding it on with glue or, saturating it. Once again, I'm starting to think out loud here. Let's get it glued down in place, and then we'll remove the spider web, and then I'll try and touch up the places where I accidentally got the NATO black. Yeah. Oh, here it comes. Now, the idea is that when this cap is in place, that ring that has the little pulleys on it can't come out. Now let's try not to smear it all over the place here. Try and get it on straight the first time. Okay. Now I think in about 10 minutes that's going to be really hard to come out of there, so. Now, of course, on the real hood, these hoops, or whatever they are, that I'm touching right now, they would be fastened to the underneath of right here. But we don't need to do that. We just need to sort of have them bent in place so that they look like they're going up to it. That's all we need to do, is just bend it very slightly. Now I don't want to break these off. Okay, now this one here looks like it could come back just a little bit. I might want to be maybe doing this off camera. How can I grab hold of this now and just pull it back, bend it back just a little bit here. Actually, this one actually was touching the top there underneath. So you got to give Trumpeter credit there for. Okay, how does that look now? All right. Obviously, this one in the back could swing towards me. I wonder. I'll grab it with something different here. Now, once again, I don't want to break it off because we've already glued this other piece on. Okay, how does that look? You know what? I think I'm going to leave well enough alone, even though it may not be perfect, because my experience is that when I try to perfect things, I make it worse. Okay, now let's see if we can get rid of this this thing right here. I'll put the macro lens on because maybe you can't see it. Okay, I moved in about as close as I can get here and still have the entire spider web in view. It's gonna have to. You can just see here what I was talking about. I'm gonna be touching it with my brush right now and hopefully removing it. What I think it is it's not dust. I think it's what you might call stringiness from the glue. Got to be careful I don't bend something here and get too aggressive. That's what I like about Steve in the model shed. He calls things by their proper names. For instance, he wouldn't be calling this spider web a spider web. He'd be calling it by what it is. It's what it actually is. It's something that you would put a canvas cover over top of the funnel so that the rain would not go down inside. Now I seem to have a little bit of a something right there. Well, maybe when I paint over that, it'll cover it up. Okay, let's quit messing around with it before we bend it, and see if we can paint that. Okay. Now, a moment ago when I was looking at this, it almost appeared as though when I was brushing the dust off of it, I also brushed off the paint. And I thought I was seeing photo etch glinting through there, but maybe not. Now, it had been my thought to do the little tiny short uprights that are coming from the plastic ring up to this photo etch ring. But I think I'm not going to try that now. I'm just going to leave the fact that they have the black, they are painted black, and we're just going to, you might say, I'm going to have to be very careful here now because I don't have to be repainting the black. What should I do? I'm going to go all the way around the outside first. I'm just going to sort of flood it on, but I don't want it to run down either. Now, some places like right here, where the weld, where the solder joint is, I have to be careful not to let it get too blobbed up there because it's already pretty thick. Now, mind you, normal viewing, you can't see that. Maybe I should sample just a little bit more here. Now remember, we don't want it to run down. Okay, I think I'm pretty much back to where I was. Oh, that's too much. I know maybe you're thinking that I should be using my smaller brush, and maybe I should. I don't need to do the underneath. The humidity in here right now is 54%. I just glanced at the hygrometer, or whatever you call it. The fact that it's raining outside probably doesn't help any either. Okay, now did I get this one? This one looks kind of blotchy. Well, maybe not. Okay, let's turn it 180 degrees and do the other ones. I am sitting here right now editing this out, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, can I ever see where I tried to reinforce the spider down onto the ring, and I went all the way around with a CA glue. You can see every single little connection. It's just amplified there. Now you got to remember, we are actually looking at the NATO black here, and it is not visible the way we are seeing it. It's overexposed and it is like super enlarged. We are not going to see that. That's too much, isn't it? Get a little bit off in there. I'm trying to be so careful not to touch the plastic ring. Ooh. I think I got a little bit closer, didn't I? Okay. Now I've already done this one. Now I don't know if you can see it, but this next one that I'm going to do is, you can clearly see where I've touched it with the black. It's black right there. So put it on a little extra thick, you might say. Actually, I find this very relaxing. Here's another one that's got black on it. And the last one. Now, we probably could have got away with not doing this, because nobody's going to be looking at it as close as we are right now. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and do the other funnel the same way, and then we'll bend these. I don't want to touch them with this paint, even though it looks like it's the same. But these were done with the Stynel res, if you remember. So it's I think it's slightly lighter. Okay, I have just finished putting on the second spider and painting it. And I would say that the paint is probably about 3/4 dry. It almost looks like I missed this one here. Does that look like it's got black on it there? Or is it just, maybe just the way the light's hitting it? Anyway, it's going to have to do. Okay, let's just leave this for a bit and see if we can bend these little pulleys back down. Now, I don't want to be bending them right down tight against the side of the funnel here. I want to leave them sort of out a little bit, about 1/2 millimeter, or maybe a little less, I guess, and so that there's a little bit of definition there. I'll put the macro lens back on. Okay, here's the plan. Plan is to take and bend this down just like that. You know what? I'm seeing a photo etch where where it's bending. And now, mind you, I don't think we're going to need to worry about that. Okay, I'll just. Okay, I'm watching in the monitor there so that I don't need to stop and refocus everything here. I think this was the one that accidentally got bent the wrong way, isn't it? Let's just turn that back. You know, I've almost got to grab hold of it, put a little bit more force here. Yeah, that's better, I think. Which one was it that I saw? Oh, this one here. You know, maybe I'm not going in far enough with them. Just carefully get a hold of it here and push a little harder. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now let's continue on. Okay. Some of them are bending very, very easy, almost like they're about ready to break off. And there's one left. Yeah, looking at it up close like this, you can see the photo etch where the break is. Okay. I don't know if I should try and paint that with my tiny brush or not. Here, I'm sorry, I keep moving it out of your view there. Now that one looks a little bit crooked, doesn't it? Push it straight here. Gonna have to grab hold of it and put a little bit of well, maybe I better leave well enough alone. Well, folks, they are done. They are about as done as I'm going to do them. I suppose there's no end to perfecting. But, yep, they are done. Anyway, we've seen these things rotated enough. I think it's time now that we turn the page. Well, turning the page should be fairly easy. We just flip over the book. Okay, what do we got? We do have photo etch. Looks like we gotta make another platform out of photo etch. Got a mast going on here. Looks like another tripod sort of thing. Another one of those starfish. And that's all photo etch. Looks like this is going to be a busy step. Step 58. Finally. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.